morning. In this video, we are going to get the answers of the unit test paper, that 2. Chapter 2 we have already completed. So now the unit test paper 2, chemical bonding, 5 questions are given. So first we are taking, give reasons for the following. So you can take your book, page number 38. Page number 38, just to see first question. First question, what is given? Ammonia gas, a covalent compound, does not conduct electricity, but aqueous solution ammonium hydroxide is a weak electrolyte. So this question you can divide in 2 parts. First of all, you have to answer that ammonia gas, a covalent compound, does not conduct electricity. So what is the reason why ammonia gas does not conduct electricity? So NH3 gas does not conduct electricity because it contains molecules. It contains molecules, that's why it does not conduct electricity. So ammonia gas, a covalent compound, does not conduct electricity. Ammonia gas does not conduct electricity because it contains molecules, or in the gaseous state it does not ionize. In the gaseous state it does not ionize. So this is the answer of the first part. Then another part it is asked, but its aqueous solution ammonium hydroxide is a weak electrolyte. So aqueous solution of ammonia, that is ammonium hydroxide, is a weak electrolyte because it partially dissociates to produce low concentration of ions. So you will study in weak electrolytes. The electrolyte which partially dissociate to produce the low concentration of ions are called the weak electrolytes. In the coming chapter we will study. So this ammonium hydroxide is there. This ammonium hydroxide partially dissociate to form ammonium ion and hydroxyl ion. So that's why it is weak electrolyte, because it produces the low concentration of ions. Now next one is, magnesium chloride is soluble in water but insoluble in acetone, while methane is insoluble in water but soluble in acetone. So these 2-part questions are there. First of all, you have to give the reason that MgCl2 is soluble in water but insoluble in acetone. So this MgCl2 is ionic compound and water has that high dielectric constant, that's why it is soluble, but acetone has the low dielectric constant. So this first part you can write, MgCl2 is ionic compound. It is soluble in water because water is a polar covalent compound, and it has high dielectric constant. It has high dielectric constant, but it is insoluble. It is insoluble in acetone, but it is insoluble in acetone because acetone has low dielectric constant, and moreover it is non-polar. So the first part is over. Second part, methane is insoluble in water but soluble in acetone. So this can be explained. On the principle that like dissolves like. Like dissolves like. That principle you can use. Like dissolves like. So just to see what is given, that methane is insoluble in water. Methane is non-polar, but water is polar. That's why it is insoluble, but soluble in acetone because acetone is non-polar. So methane being non-polar, insoluble in water, but soluble in acetone because acetone is also non-polar. So like dissolves like, methane and acetone both are non-polar, so that's why they are insoluble. So they are soluble, but methane is insoluble in water because water is a polar. So that is based on that like dissolves like. So now the next one, 2 questions are over. Third one. So these answers you can note on your copy, and such questions they are asking in board paper. That's why I suggest you read it properly and learn it, because such questions they can ask in board paper. So now next one is that third one. What is given? Iron displaces copper from solution of copper salt. The reaction is deemed as redox reaction. So iron displaces copper from a solution of copper salt. So this reaction, this iron displaces copper from salt solution, and this will be treated as redox reaction. So how can you say the redox reaction? Just you see, oxidation number of iron is 0, copper is +2, and iron +2, and copper 0. So this iron loses 2 electrons from Fe2 ion. This one is oxidation, and this copper ions takes 2 electrons from copper. This one is reduction. It means iron is oxidized and copper ions are reduced. So iron loses 2 electrons to form Fe2 ion, that is oxidation takes place. Cu2 ions take electrons to form copper metal, that is reduction takes place. Hence this reaction is an example of redox reaction. Hence this reaction is an example of redox. Redox means where oxidation and reduction. This redox is made up of two words. You are familiar. This one is reduction, and this one is oxidation. If any reaction is there, if oxidation takes place, reduction will be there. But if you write simply that in this reaction oxidation reduction both takes place, that's why this is example of redox reaction, they will not give the mark. You have to explain where oxidation and where reduction takes place, then the mark will be given. And generally if you write that oxidation reduction takes place, so that's why it is redox, this is not a correct answer. You have to explain at a particular point where oxidation and where reduction. Just you see iron 0 to plus 2 oxidation and copper plus 2 to 0 reduction takes place. So that's why this is an example of the redox reaction. Now question number 4. This third one you can note down in the copy. Now next one is question number 4. All these questions are very interesting questions are there. So you can write in your copy. So next one is fourth one. What is given? A non-metallic atom, atomic number 9, form a molecule of the same containing a single covalent bond. So just you see this F, atomic number 9, 2, 7. It has the 7 electron. It needs only 1 electron to complete the octet. So that's why it's safe for one pair of electrons. Since it has 7 valence electrons and it needs only one pair of electron to complete the octet. Hence it shares for one pair of electrons and forms single covalent bond. I have told you that just you see in outer cell, if 7 electrons are there, so they will share for one pair of electron. If 6 electrons are there, they will share for 2 pair of electron. If 5 electrons are there, they will share for 3 pair of. That you can simply calculate that how many electrons are needed to complete the octet. Now fourth one is over, fifth one. In magnesium, in the formation of magnesium oxide, magnesium atom loses 2 electrons from its valence shell. So the fifth one, in magnesium oxide, Mg atom loses 2 electrons because by the loss of 2 electrons, magnesium atom will complete its octet. Just you see this magnesium, 2, 8, 2 is there, it loses 2 electrons, and oxygen 2, 2 6 is there. So if the 2 electron is given here, so it will complete, magnesium will complete the octet and oxygen will also complete the octet. So that's why the 2 electrons are lost by the magnesium atom. Now question number 2, with reference to a molecule of water, fill in the blanks with the correct word. So just you mark in your book only. Water is a polar covalent molecule in which the atom of oxygen attracts electrons more strongly towards itself. The water molecule shows the presence of 2 single covalent bonds and 2 lone pair of electrons present in the oxygen atom. So this you can do in the book. Now third question we will solve here on the board and you can do in the comment. So next one is third question. So question first you have seen, question 2, fill-ups are there that you can do in the book only. Now question number 3 we are going to solve on the board and you can solve in your home. So this question number 3. Question number 3, just you see that elements are given A and B. You have to find out the type of the bond and formula. It is very simple. First you write the electronic configuration, then you see, find out the valency, then you see whether they are metal or non-metal. So if both are non-metal covalent bond, if one is metal and one is non-metal, then ionic bond. So by this way you can find out the bonding and formula. You know that first you write electropositive, then you write electronegative. So first one, A is given, A atomic number 20, so 2882. Its valency is A2 plus, and B is given atomic number 8, then 26. Its valency is 2 minus. So type of the linkage, since A is metal and B is non-metal, then the type of linkage will be ionic. Then formula, just you write the formula, A 2 positive, B 2. If the common is there, you can remove, then you can cross the valencies. So 2 is the common, we remove the common, then the formula will be AB. Your answer is A. Now this is the first one. Now the second one. A is given again that 20. So again you can write 2, 8, 8, 2. This is a metal. 8, 2 positive. And then C is given. C is 17. 2, 8, 7. Valency is minus 1. So one is metal, the one is non-metal. Then the bond will be ionic. Bond will be ionic. Then formula is very simple. Just you see, first you write electropositive, 2 positive, C, 1 negative cross, then this will become AC2. Now third one, that D atomic number 9 is there, so 2 7. This is non-metal. Another D is given same atom, that 2 7. Both are non-metal, then the bond will be covalent. And just you imagine 7 electrons are there, so they will complete their octet by sharing of 1 electron. So molecule will be D2, that you can imagine like this. 1 electron from this one, 1 electron from this one. So by this way they will complete the octet. So that's why D. Now fourth one is E atomic number 12, then 282, E2 positive. Then F atomic number is given 16, then 286, then F2 negative. One is metal, one is non-metal, then the bond will be ionic. And formula just you see, first you write electropositive, then electronegative. Now remove the common, then cross the valency. So it will become EF. Then fifth one, G is given atomic number 1, just imagine hydrogen, non-metal. and Ef is given that atomic number 16, 286, F2 minus, that is also non-metal. Then the bond will be covalent. This is the case of hydrogen, both are non-metal, covalent, and formula will be there, G plus 1 and F2 minus, so cross will be there, so this will become G2F. So by this way you can write the formula. So here you are getting the bonding, here you are getting the formula. This question is very important. Such questions they are asking in board paper. Then question number 4. Question number 4 you can fill up in the book just to see what is given. The bond between two elements in group 7A of the periodic table is likely to be covalent because both are non-metal, so that's why covalent. In the reaction Cl2 Ki, it gives 2 KCl plus I2. The conversion of, it is given here, the conversion of 2I minus to I2. This one is given in your book that negative sign is not given. So just to mark there, 2I negative to I2 is deemed as oxidation because minus 1 to 0. So that's why this will be the oxidation. This will be oxidation. Then the covalent molecule containing 3 single covalent bond is, this ammonia is there, ammonia contains 3 single covalent bond. The molecule of water combines with proton, this is given hydrogen atom, proton and hydrogen molecule, so you mark there proton to form hydronium ion. For formation of an electrovalent bond between element X and Y, which are a metal and non-metal respectively, X should have low ionization potential and Y should have high electron affinity. So this question already we have studied, that periodic properties, how affect the bonding. Then question number 5. Question number 5. Now let me clean the board. So if anything is required, I can write here on the board. Otherwise it is very difficult. So this next question. Next question is that question number 5. Question number 5, just to see what is asked. Electronic configuration of the following elements are given: sodium, carbon, sodium, hydrogen, carbon, chlorine, lithium. State the which of the following compounds are given, have high or low boiling point, soluble or insoluble. So very simple. Just to see if the ionic compound is there, then the boiling point will be high. If covalent low is there, soluble and insoluble in organic solvents. If they are ionic compound, they will be insoluble. If they are non-polar covalent compound, they will be soluble. So just to see, first of all, hydrogen chloride, this is covalent compound, so it has the low boiling point. And regarding the soluble, since it is polar, so that's why it is insoluble in organic solvents. Then sodium chloride, this is ionic compound is there, so it has the high boiling point. So let me write here, otherwise people will be confused. A, B, C, D, E. So first one is given hydrogen chloride, second one is given sodium chloride, third one is given sodium hydride, and lithium chloride, then carbon tetrachloride. So this is polar covalent compound, low boiling point, and then insoluble in organic solvent. Insoluble in organic solvent, because you have studied the principle that like dissolves like. So since it is polar, so that's why it will be soluble in polar organic solvent. But this is that it is given that organic solvents only. So organic solvent we consider that non-polar. So that's why insoluble. Then second one is sodium chloride. It has high boiling point and it is ionic. So what is given? Are soluble or insoluble in organic solvents. So this will be insoluble in organic solvent. Sodium hydride, this is ionic compound is there. So this high boiling point and insoluble in organic solvent. Then lithium chloride, this is ionic compound, high boiling point. It is also insoluble in organic solvent. This is covalent compound, low boiling point. It is soluble, non-polar, soluble in organic solvent. So now next one is question number 6. A compound of the formula S2Y, Y denotes a non-metal. So this is given S2Y. This you can imagine that S2O means Y equivalent to O, oxygen, and its electronic configuration is 2,6. So that you keep in your mind. So what is asked? First 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is asked? First one. The electronic configuration of Y, that is 2,6. Valency of Y -2. Then bonding present in S2I, water just to imagine, covalent. Then fourth, the bonding present, the form between potassium and Y. Potassium is metal and Y is that non-metal. So the bond will be ionic or electrovalent. Then the formula of the compound formed between calcium and Y. So Ca1. Because this calcium +2 and Y2 minus, so common is removed, then this will become Ca1. So these all questions that unit test. Question number 1 you can write in your copy. Question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rest in the book you can complete. That is sufficient. Then page number 37. That question number 11. That redox reactions are there you can do. And question number 13. Fill-ups are given. That you can do by yourself. If you want, you can see I can give you here in the video. That just to see question number 13. Question number 13, page number 37. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate word from the brackets. Sodium chloride and electrovalent compound is formed as a result of transfer of one valence electron from metallic sodium to non-metallic chlorine atom. Calcium oxide is similarly formed as a result of transfer of two valence electron from metallic calcium to non-metallic oxygen, and magnesium chloride by the transfer of two valence electron from one magnesium atom to two chlorine atoms. Then second one, covalent compounds are formed by sharing electron pair between non-metallic atoms having 7, 6, 5 valence electron share 1, 2 or 3 pairs of electron respectively. So this question number 11 already you have done in the copy, 13 in the book you can do, and then unit test. So this chapter number 2 is almost completed. In the next video I will give you the chapter number 3, that acid, base and salt. That is very important chapter.